Alright, let's see this one. South African celebrities are copying Western
You know,
nonsense,
at
part
school when
one.
the teachers say that you shouldn't copy someone
I wonder what is that?
else's work, they're saying that for a reason. First of all, you're robbing yourself from gaining knowledge because if you're not doing the work, you're not knowing the content of the work, therefore, you don't know what's going on. So you're not learning anything. Secondly, you're not going to develop a good work ethic of doing things on your own, doing the research, doing the work. You're always going to be lazy and waiting for someone else to do the job so that you can just take it and claim it as your own. Even generally speaking, it's unethical to be merited on work that is not your own. You can't be getting marks and awards for someone else's work. Last but not least, one of the reasons why you're not allowed to copy someone else's work is because you don't know what that person wrote. You don't know whether it's wrong or right, so you're gonna end up copying the wrong things. That's the point that I'm coming to regarding South African artists copying South African celebrities, even if it's nonsense. You don't even bother to consider whether what they're doing is something that would be detrimental to you or not. At the end of the day, we're South Africans, we're raised with certain morals and standards of living.
Bruh. You know, girls like her, they scare me, bro. They scare me. Girls that are smart scare me, bro. Like I don't want the girl. Even though I contradict myself sometimes. I think we live in a very contradictive world. Maybe I'm contradicting. Girls like her, they scare me. I like dumb bimbos. Like I like bimbos. Like guys, me, I'm gonna be honest. I like a bimbo. Me, I don't like smart chicks, and it's not the first time I say this, so I'm not contradicting myself. I like bimbos, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I like bimbos, bro. Although I love watching her content. I love watching content like this, like Candace Owens and other females. You know, when they do like this type of content. Would I date them? Nah. You know the reason why is because they're gonna need me to be all my masculine energy all the time. Like, come on, guys. I'm a 2020 man. I'm a 2025 man. I don't need to be on my masculine energy all the time. I need to chill. I need to be chilled, be lazy. Come on. Like, I get it. I love watching their content, but would I date them? Hell nah. Hell nah. I guess they would say intimidate. I don't think it's intimidate is the right one. I like bimbos. I have a type. My type is bimbos. That's it.
Just because Americans have abandoned their values and morals, it doesn't mean that we should do the same. The specific trend that I want to speak about in this video is the baby mama, baby daddy trend. In South Africa, we have never glorified this type of trend. Yes, it's not just celebrities that have baby mamas, baby daddies, even normal people live that certain lifestyle. But we have never glorified it. We have never put it on a pedestal the same way Americans have. So when celebrities start adopting certain values, it immediately gets promoted because they're public figures. So yes, it's something that could be happening in the community for the longest time, but it's not put on a pedestal. It's not suddenly seen as the norm because why? Those people are not known. So that could be someone else's reality, but other people could be living in a completely different reality. So when celebrities are doing it because they are always in our faces in movies, TV shows, and reality TV, it starts to become normalized because that's something that we're fed every day. So it's no longer a taboo. It's no longer strange. And it's no longer looked down upon because this is what we see every day, so it's normal.
I mean, I'm still even curious. What is she's talking about precisely? That South African celebrities that are copying Western nonsense. That is what I'm trying to understand. Like, and actually, like, give us one example.
Now, so if someone else wants to do it, no one's gonna bat an eye, no one's gonna give you a side look. So that's where the danger is, that people of influence start to normalize things that shouldn't be normalized, starts to normalize immorality. It's not good for them to normalize things that are detrimental for the community as a whole, for society as a whole. It can be good for you because you make millions off of your movies and your songs, so you can take care of your children. You don't need to get married. You've got multiple kids, so you can take care of them. But for the community at large, it's not good for children to come from one parent households. So just because something is trendy and other people are doing it, or you can afford to do it, it doesn't mean that it's right. I won't say I'm surprised because a lot of people don't come from two-parent households. A lot of people come from single-parent households, so they don't understand the value of marriage and family. If you're raised by a single mom, which a lot of these celebrities and just people in general are either raised by their moms or grandmothers, then you think that that's normal. Like, you think that's fine. I didn't die. I grew up, I've got my own money or I've got my own family, so that was fine. Like, it's not that deep. People don't understand that it has a huge impact on your life because it affects the way that you think, the way that you see life, the way that you relate to women, the way that you relate to men, the way that you see children, the way that you see the family structure in general. For example, if you're raised by a single mom, she's only ever going to speak about your dad when it's time for him to give you money, when it's time for him to send you money for school or for clothes or for anything that you might need. So generally, your brain is being wired into thinking,
Bruh, is it me or every video that I come across this says single mothers are just catching fire? Like, I think we should change the narrative. I don't think I taking the single mother or I taking the single mother it's gonna be the solution, or making fun of women being single mothers. I don't think, although sometimes they can be part of the problem why they are single mothers in the first place. I think we should attack the men. We should attack the men. We've been attacking single mothers for quite a while, and then still we don't see any changes. We need to attack the men, bro. We need to like it needs to be frowned upon, especially like I said in the black community. If a man can impregnate a woman and then leave her, it should be frowned upon. It should be disrespect. Actually, if I was the president, I would do extreme things to fix my country. Men would go to jail, bro, for leaving their kids alone. I would say even for like breaking up, I would even take to extreme, bro. Like if you wanna even put it, like I think if you wanna make huge changes for the country and for the people, you need a little bit of dictatorship. I don't think not anything gets done in democracy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing gets done in democracy because I would present you my ideas as a candidate, and then I become president. I still have to go argue with like the parliament, and like they're gonna have to vote on my policies to get approved and stuff like that. You see, nothing gets done in democracy, bro. Any country that has taken over and become the first world country and has made huge changes, like China, dictatorship, Russia, dictatorship. You just have to like rough choices. And the example that I gave in the previous videos, I think it was El Salvador. It came from one of being the most dangerous country in the world to being the safest country in the world. How did they do it? Dictatorship. Even though it's not dictatorship, but they took away human rights, and then some might say it was even a little bit of dictatorship. It's a dictatorship style of leadership, even though it's not a dictatorship. But you know, they took away human rights from criminals, and that's how you can make a huge change. Let's just watch.
thinking that men are for money. Whenever a man comes to your life, he just needs to give you money because that's all your father ever did. He only ever gave you money. So you never see men beyond monetary provision. So that's why when you find a good man that provides more than that, which is leadership, he's got integrity, he's not willing to just do whatever just to get money. You won't value that because,
Bruh, I'm taking a pause of this thing of being a provider. I've done it. I'm so tired. I would like to date on my own tax bracket as well. No disrespect to any woman out there. I used to love being a provider. I just want to try new things. I want to try new things. You know, I don't enjoy it anymore. So I like to take a break. I want to date in my own tax bracket. What I'm saying is like, it gets to a point where it's like, it gets annoying. You know what I'm saying? If you're my girl and then I would like to take care of you, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to be, I don't want to get to a point because like, it gets to a point where like people stop loving you but start loving your head, you know. It gets to a point where it's like this. Let me give you an example which is really really good that I have experienced with like dating girls and being the provider guy and whatever. I'm stopping this shit. I'm dating in my tax bracket right now. Hell no. If you're not in my tax bracket, there's nothing serious going on. My point is, the example that I wanted to give you is like this, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind doing your hair, your nails and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But it gets to a point where people, you know, you start avoiding their calls or stop trying to call them because you're gonna know on the phone call is gonna end up with them asking something. I don't want to get to that point. And it's like even simple stuff. Let's say you want to come over and you know it's just like, yo babe, I just like I just feel like coming over just now. I don't want to be like, now I have to like, you coming over every time you have to come over, it has to be my strain of sending you a ride, even though it's not my plan to see you. I have to send you a ride, and then even simple things. I think it would be nice if you say like, baby, I'm pulling over, like, and you just like pull over out of nowhere on your own, and then you come with some takeaways. I'm not saying it should happen every day, just once, what, let's say 2 times in 10 times that you come. Even if it's just like 2 times in the 10 times, you have it would be nice. I want to explore my options. I'm not being a lie. It's not even a secret anymore. As soon as I'm done with the relationship that I'm in right now, I am only gonna date in my tax bracket. This being a provider shit, I don't want to be part of it anymore. Hell nah.
All you know that he's just supposed to give you money. So if he says that he's not willing to do certain things just to have money because he wants to make an honest living, then you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, we're going to die of poverty, and why don't you do what other men are doing because I need money? You're not going to value the fact that he's got values and that he's got integrity. You won't value a man's character because you never got to experience your father's character, so you don't know what to do with character, and you don't understand that character is far more valuable than any amount of money that he...
Ladies, are you gonna let her speak to you like that? Am I stirring up drama? Ladies, are you gonna let her speak to you like that?
could ever give you. Another example is that when you're a guy that has been raised by a single mom, you don't see the value of having your children under one roof. You don't mind having multiple baby mamas because you saw your mom taking care of you and you didn't die. You grew up to be a man, so your children won't die as well. They don't need you that much because you also didn't need your dad that much. You don't realize that there's certain things that you haven't learned, or there's certain values that you don't carry, or skills because your father wasn't there to teach you.
See, what happened? I thought she was on our side, man. I thought she was on the guy's side. Now she's attacking us. What's happening? I mean, I know her from TikTok. I thought she was like, she's one of the guys. You know what I'm saying? She's one of the girls that gets invited to Mel's conference. And now she's attacking us. Come on, Sika, you gotta pick a side. Who's gonna defend you? You know who's gonna defend you? The ladies don't wanna defend you anymore. You've spoken. You've told them all enough truth. They don't want you. They don't even count you as part of the agenda anymore. You know. Now you gotta take it easy on guys, because you know you're on our side. We're defending you. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Realize that there's certain knowledge, certain skills, certain character traits, certain perspectives that you would have received if you grew up with your father. So you've been robbed of that, and now you're robbing your children of the same thing. I've never been married, so I can never tell you from the perspective of a married person what the benefits of marriage are. But I have been born into a marriage, so I know the benefits of being born in a two-parent household. And I know that these are true because I've witnessed them in my friends as well. Funny enough, all of my friends come from two-parent households. I don't have a single friend that doesn't have a mother and a father that are married. So I didn't even do it on purpose. I do not know how it happened, but I just found myself attracted to people that come from two-parent households. And obviously by that time, when you meet someone, you don't know them, so you're just attracted to the way that they think, you know, the things that they say, their personality, etc. So I realized that when you are someone that comes from a two-parent household, you have a very balanced worldview. You know how to look at things from two sides. You don't just see things from one side and say, oh, this is it, there's nothing.
I think I have a good enough, a balanced view. I think I'm one of the people that have a great perspective. I think I have a great perspective. I just think it goes, there's this video that I watched that shows certain levels of consciousness that you develop as a human being when you grow up, or in human beings in general from time to time. It was a very interesting video. I should react to it, but not now. But it was a very interesting one.
Nothing else. So for example, when there's always gender wars about male, female, we know how to look at it from two sides, and we can acknowledge the two sides, whether negative or positive. So we don't have this thing that, oh, it's only this and men are great, or women are great and nothing else. You don't think that women are inherently good and men are inherently bad because you've experienced men and you've experienced women. So you know that there's a balance. None of them are perfect, but God knew what he was doing when he brought them together and said, you guys together are unstoppable, but you guys separate, you're good, you're not gonna die, but together is so much better. So because we've experienced the two genders equally, we are very realistic in our approach to relationships. We understand that men are not perfect, women are not perfect, and no marriage or family is perfect. So if you're raised by a single mom, you're always gonna hear men are bad, men are useless, men don't take care of their children, men this, men that, and it's all gonna be negative. So your worldview is going to be negative. Whenever you see men, you're gonna see negative bad perpetrators every time. So you're gonna constantly be caught in gender wars, and you're never gonna be realistic when you date, because you think that this man has to be perfect. The minute he makes a mistake, the minute he does something wrong, it means that he doesn't love you or he's not good enough and you should throw him away, because your point of reference is magazines or couples on Instagram or blogs that are telling you that he's supposed to be so perfect, otherwise he's not the man for you. We need to understand that the West is,
Bro, anytime, this is my advice to you guys. And I'm glad I've never caught myself in this situation, because I've seen other people, especially recently with the idea of Bruce breaking up with Connie. Well, the way you explained it, Bruce, in the first video, it was like, the way I understand the whole thing, it was like, even Connie, she said it in the voice notes, you know what I'm saying? Every time you would meet a girl and then she would try to make you perfect in her own eyes, or change you into her ideal boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? I think as a guy, every time, if you didn't do anything bad to a person, and let's say you get any energy that shows that the person is trying to make you or change you into this idealistic boyfriend in their head, and then they blame you for it and they gaslight you into that, and you start feeling bad and whatever, because let's say, for example, they start making you feel bad, you know what I'm saying, as if like you're doing something wrong because you're not living up to the some standard they have in their brain, their aesthetic boyfriend. I say you give that girl an option to leave. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind apologizing if I did something wrong in the relationship. I don't mind apologizing and be like, yo, I did this thing wrong, I apologize and stuff like that. But every time you get a concept, an idea, a girl is mad because you're not living up to some standard that she has in her head for what a boyfriend is. You know what I'm saying? I say you should always give that girl an option to leave. You'll be like, yo, bro, I feel like you have this certain idea of what a boyfriend should be and whatever. I don't think I'll ever be that person, and I want you to do well. If you feel like you deserve better, go find that better, bro. Like, I think as a guy, although it's not nice being alone, you know what I'm saying, heartbreak, it even hurts, but distraction, I think for me the good distraction is that the reason why I'm not scared of being alone or living a relationship is because my work is my distraction. Sitting here doing videos and working whatever is my distraction to get over things very fast. Plus, once you date a certain amount of girls, it's no longer hard to get girls anymore, although it might be difficult to get girls that you like certain things about them. But to get a girl who's gonna come over and take the stress off, that's the easy part. It's just like, that's the easy part, although I know some guys struggle with it. But once you start learning, start dating a certain amount of girls, start being with a certain amount of girls, you don't gonna get scared of being alone anymore. You're just like, okay, fine, if you feel like I'm making you unhappy, then go and find a guy who will make you happy. Don't ever try to live up to some standard of a girl tells you indoor must or a certain guy must. So be like, okay, if you indoor must or a guy must, then go and find that guy. Don't ever. I think my whole concept of it is like, don't ever try to live up to some standard or idea of what a girl tells you what her boyfriend or a man should be, because you're always gonna find yourself unhappy and finding yourself diving yourself into like some mental journey that is just like not healthy for you and your financial life, and even maybe for her it will be beneficial, but for you it won't be, bro.
Adamant about attacking marriage. They're very adamant about attacking family. They've been doing it for years, and honestly I wasn't that much bothered when it was just seeing it on TV and seeing it in magazines that, oh, so and so is now pregnant, oh, now so and so is Mang Mang's baby mama, baby daddy. I wasn't really bothered. Yes, it was weird and I was like, this thing is not right, but I wasn't really bothered until I started to see us replicate the same behavior. Now I'm even more bothered because it's hitting home and I'm seeing that, oh, we are also adopting the same thing of promoting this thing and glamorizing it and making it look like it's cool. I even saw that this one rapper from overseas said that he doesn't mind buying his girl a ring and proposing. He's just not gonna sign the papers. So he doesn't mind cosplaying it and you having a ring, looking like you're married, but you're never gonna be married to him. So they're always pushing this negativity, like even these red pill podcasts where they're saying, yeah, what are the benefits of marriage? Like, men don't benefit from marriage, only women benefit. They're only saying that because they don't want to get married. Any man that wants to get married is not sitting there dissecting all of the negatives and how it's not benefiting him and how the women are just leeches and they're just trying to take their money and their wealth, and that they will have to split all of their wealth with someone that can even work as hard. That's what they are going to do. Men that want to be married are just going to be married, and they're going to do it, and they're going to see the positivity in it. They're going to take the negativity, but they're not going to allow the negativity to override the positivity.
Hell nah. That's why I disagree with her. I think, logically speaking, when you speak logic, I think there are emotional benefits to marriage. I think there are some benefits, but I think most benefits to men for marriage are just emotional reasons. Logically speaking, I don't think there's any benefit to a man being married, especially in this society. Especially in the society that we live in, bro. I watched a video today that definitely described this way perfectly, bro. I don't think in the society, in the olden age, yes, but in the society you get wrecked, bro. In the society, especially in the kind of mindset that we as guys we have, and also women we have, as women they also have, when you combine in the both and then you check out the legal reasons, what happens when you get divorced, and how it's just, there is no logical explanation why a guy should get married. It's for me, I love the idea of marriage. It's just legally speaking, yeah, nah.
So all of these red pill guys, when they're acting woke, like, yeah, they're not going to be fooled into the system of marriage, just know that they just don't want to. And one thing they will do is give you examples of, yeah, this millionaire, this and this happened to him. Yeah, his girl had nothing and now she owns half of everything that he has. Yeah, you see that it's a scam. You see that it's a scam. That's what they constantly feed themselves, and they want to fear monger. They want to bring men into this mentality that, yeah, don't have a family because it does nothing for you. And who can blame them?
No one said you shouldn't have a family. Just that the most people, she's completely wrong on this subject. No one said men don't want to have families. The men that are against marriage never said they want to have families. They just said they're against the legal the legals is it what the legal consequences of being divorced in this age. We just think most men that don't want to be married is because of legal reasons. It's not because of emotional reasons or because they don't want to have a family. It's because of legal reasons. That's the only reason why they don't want to get married. And to be fair, there's no legal benefit in most cases for guys to get married because you get wrecked in divorce. Wrecked, bro.
Because a lot of them don't come from two-parent households, so they don't know the benefits. They don't know how it benefits them to get into this union.
To have a two-parents household doesn't mean you guys should be married.
And to be honest,
or you can get married and have a prenup. A prenup agreement. I totally forgot about that. So I take back what I said. Guys, if you want to get married, you can get. Just make sure you have a prenup agreement.
you can't take other people's experiences and make them your own. Their experiences have shaped their worldviews and they are not willing to do anything about it. They are not willing to change. Some people don't mind repeating generational curses. They don't mind repeating other people's mistakes. They don't learn from the past. They don't want to do better. They just say, oh, this is how it was, so this is how it's going to be. They don't think of what they want for themselves, regardless of what their parents had. And it's not just people from single parent households. Some people come from two parent households and they break that blessing. One thing I told myself is that I will never break this blessing that I come from. I will never rob my children of the experiences that I have.
I mean, it's a good thing to say when you're alone, but remember, when you get married, you know what I'm saying, you bring another person in your life. So that decision of being married for 20 years or 15 years or 50 years, it doesn't solely rely on you but also rely on your partner. You might be a good girl and be like, yo, I believe in marriage and I'm gonna stay until I get married so I can have kids and whatever, but you might meet a guy who's will get married to you, but maybe 3 years down the line he might cheat on you, or 4 years down the line might cheat on you, or might lead to breaking up the marriage. Or even when you're a guy, you can be a guy and believe in marriage and be like, I'm gonna meet a girl, I'm gonna marry her, but maybe 3 years down the line that girl might cheat on you. So for you to stay in marriage doesn't solely depend on you, but it also depends on the other partner, which is the difficult part. So I don't think it's fair to actually make fun of people who are divorced or unable to get married, or like it's very the dating place, especially in this day and age, is so complicated. I think arranged marriages did it so best, way better. That is why arranged marriages lasted so long. But in this day and age, because of social media and stuff like that, I think it's difficult for both men and women. It is difficult. So I'm not gonna pick a side. I don't think it's fair. I think it is very stupid for only look at it from one sense, from one lens, and be like, yo, dating is only bad for guys or it's only bad for women. I think it's bad for both sides. I can give you different examples and different reasons why it's bad for both.
And I will never rob them of even having better than what I had, because at the end of the day, no family is perfect. So you're always going to look at your family and be like, okay, my mom chose a man like this and this and this, and this is how things were done in the family, so I want mine to be different. This was not good, so I'm leaving it. This was great, so I'm taking it into my own family. We talk about breaking generational curses a lot, but we don't speak about keeping generational blessings. A lot of people are blessed, but they don't do anything about it. They don't continue the cycle of blessing. They don't add on to the cycle of blessing. Instead, they break it. People will come from two-parent households and start a whole cycle of broken families. You didn't come from a broken family, but you start one. So now you're starting a whole generational curse instead of continuing the blessing that you had, regardless of whether that blessing was perfect.
You know, whatever she's saying, like I keep saying it only sounds, it sounds idealistic, it sounds good, whatever, it sounds good on paper. But in the real world, unfortunately, things don't always work out according to plan or the way you imagine it.
Or not. So some people are encouraged by their circumstances that, okay, I came from a broken family, so I'm going to make it right. I'm going to do what's right, and I'm going to determine what my family becomes, and I'm going to do it the right way. But some people, they see their blessing and they don't care about it. They're careless about their blessings. People can be born into generational blessings but not be aware of those blessings because they focus on the fact that, we were poor, so what was the point of being in a two-parent household if we didn't even have any money? Instead of taking the blessing with you as a start and determining to make it better as you go. Personally, I do not care about celebrities at all. I do not look up to them. I do not care.
I'm still confused. What is the title and what is whatever she's saying has to do with specifically celebrities? I think it applies to all people.
What they do. But for the people that look up to these people, please be careful of the people that you look up to. Please choose wisely the podcast that you listen to, the content that you ingest, because it's going to change the way that you...
The podcast that you listen to, that sounds like a short. That one sounds like a short some podcast. Is it open chat podcast? It might be, because that's the one they talk about dating. I think it might be open chat podcast. I haven't watched it. I don't think I've ever reacted to open chat podcast. I should do it.
You think is going to determine how you go about your life, how you see women, how you see children, how you see life in general. South Africa is not the only country that is heavily being influenced by the West, and the day that God judges the West, all of the countries, all of the nations that were influenced by them, that tasted in its immorality, tasted in its devaluing and destruction, is gonna go down with them.
Read Revelations chapter 18.
Nothing we can do about the nation as a whole, but we can do something about ourselves as individuals. Let us fight to keep the word of God alive in us. Let us fight to keep on the path of doing what is right, even though it's unpopular and nobody cares anymore. Let us fight to stay strong until we reach the finish line.
Good morning.
That be your video, man. That be your video.